And all right. Hey guys, I would say good morning, but it isn't. It's 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Looks like 2 people. 2 people online. Wow. Hey, thanks for showing up. Special time, I guess. Here on K6UDA Radio and the Southern Idaho Preparedness Net. It's 9 a.m. somewhere, says Jeff. Let's see. Let me get that moved in where it should be. There we go. It is 9 a.m. somewhere, says Jeff. And Jeff's on the road today, headed back to Michigan. Tarek, how's it going? And Andy, there's 3 now. Miko Wolf is in the house. Everybody's starting to filter in here. That's why I start this early, to give people a chance to kind of filter in. And I can't tell who's filtering in on the radio side. But, hey, you know what? Special net today. I guess we're going to have a special subject. And I don't know what it is. Only you guys know what it is. Because you're going to bring your favorite topics. So, and you're going to get to talk about it. I don't know if I'll have an answer, because I don't claim to be. You know what I'm going to do here? I'm going to solo this. Does this sound any better to you guys when I don't have? Well, right now I've got my mic on, so I can hear me. I can hear the radio. That's why I'm wearing these, because I got to do that. Or does it sound better if it's called soloing. And if I solo just the radio, does that do anything for you? Does that help at all? You guys got to let me know. Life and death. What's happening, brother? It's always coffee o'clock until it becomes Guinness o'clock. I love it. That's beautiful. That deserves to go up on the board there. So anyway, we'll hang out here for just a couple of minutes, and then we'll jump into the net part. And okay, sounds better like this. Thumbs up if it sounds better with this soloed, or if it sounds better like this. Give me just say minus. If it sounds better like this, thumbs up. Sounds good here. 5x5. Beautiful. Bitchin'. Love to hear it. Yeah. Well, you know what? We'll get the net started, and then I'll kind of explain why we're here at 3 p.m. Mountain Time. Didn't notice any difference at all. Beautiful. Okay. Well, then that means I can do this for right now, and then once we get going on the radio, I'll switch it back. Let's see. Wow, 1500. I guess we'll go ahead and start that. Start the radio side. So with that, my friends, we'll get to the preamble here. Good afternoon. Welcome to the Southern Idaho Command. This is the Southern Idaho Preparedness Net. This net meets every Saturday morning except today and last week here at the Southern Idaho Command, and I'm screwing myself up. This is K6UDA on the K6UDA repeater located in Twin Falls, Idaho. This is a digital-only net accessible via Wires X Room 40448, the Idaho Command, YSF Reflector 56026, the YouTubers YSF Room, the Hanson Butte 2-meter fusion repeater for you guys here in the Magic Valley 145.170. Local hams without a digital radio can also monitor. Well, I guess you can't because he doesn't have it on right now, and I'm watching that one. So I won't even talk about that one. The purpose of this net is the free exchange of information related to emergency preparedness, commonly known as prepping. We encourage deep dives into subjects related to food, water, shelter, personal protection, weapons, survival tactics, medical issues, communication gear, and techniques. I'm looking for subject matter experts to lead discussions on all these various subjects. If you have material you'd like to present or discuss, when you check in, please indicate you have a subject. Although not primarily political, discussion of relevant political, cultural, or religious events are welcome in the context of situational awareness and survival. Let's see, we don't have a whole lot of, we've got the normal 7 nodes hooked up here, so we don't have any extras right now. So I'll waive the check-in procedures, and I will just ask for check-ins.
Kilo Bravo 7 Delta Foxtrot Papa, Ken in Twin Falls.
Ken. Ken is up, and so he'll probably put the link in on the 44200. Thanks for checking in, Ken. Any other check-ins?
KD8IOK, currently in Broadwell, Illinois, for the next couple of minutes. And I apologize, I am riding in a vehicle today, so I will not be able to log.
All right, Jeff, thanks for checking in. And hey, no problem, my friend. Thanks for being here. Let's see, any other check-ins for the Southern Idaho Preparedness Net?
Kilo India 5, Mike Foxtrot, and New Mexico.
All right, KI5, WFF, or MFF, thanks for checking in, and welcome to the net. Check-ins. Okay, we've got a smaller crew on wires today. 18 in there. We've got Andy Pearson checking in, KE0NZQ from Kansas, the Hammer AC9EX with no traffic. Let's see. As far as situational reports, I don't have anything. I'm going to open it up, see if anybody's got a sit rep for us. You guys, anybody got anything? Yeah, Jeff, go ahead.
KD8IOK. I just want to say thoughts and prayers out to those in Iowa from the bad storms that they suffered yesterday and last evening, and those that are in Oklahoma City that are doomed to get them later today. We ducked out early this morning to avoid them.
Yeah. If you're out in the Midwest, thoughts and prayers to you. I've never been through a tornado, but I hear they're kind of ugly. And I'm glad you're out of that. I'm glad you're out of the area there, my friend. Any other sit reps? Sit reps we're looking for, or news stories. Let's see. N6 EMS, are you around?
N6 EMS, yeah. What's up, Bob?
Yeah, did you have anything, any situational reports for the net?
Nothing pertinent at this time. Just all doing well out here. Haven't had anything special. I guess that's time to keep your head down, huh?
Yeah, I think that's the definition of keeping your head down. Okay, a couple of other check-ins on the internet side. We've got Callie, our Common Agenda UN United Nations 2024. Yeah, bad stuff. Jason, KD2 UDR is on live. Says catching it live for once. And Jerry H, AG3Q in Delaware. And one more, Vince Bellin, KJ7DOD in Sandy, Utah. And KB9UPY, Tim, is checking in also on the internet. Let's see. Well, man, and I had a good sit rep. I didn't write it down because I was so busy. Let's see. Last weekend, I was in outside of Boise with the AMCOM Northwest Division Adventure Challenge. Great camp out. Good family atmosphere. I'm working on a little bit of video, and I'll get something out to you guys fairly soon. Let's see. I had a couple of news items, and for the life of me, I just can't even remember what they were. This morning, I had volunteered to do a part of an Aries exercise. Well, actually, it was a foot race that we were doing the radio traffic for. So I was busy doing that. I had committed. They didn't have enough people to let me out. So we're doing this net a little bit later today. So that brings me to today's topic, which is your favorite topic. And I'm gonna call Jeff KD8IOK first. Jeff, do you have a topic in mind? Jeff may be indisposed at the wheel at the moment. Let me call Bob too. N6 EMS. How about you? A favorite topic for prepping, survival, or whatever?
Actually, I remembered the ones, and it's kind of a two-pronged one. And the first kind of dovetails with this morning exactly what you were doing, and that not to be a hermit, but get out there and use your skills, whether that's radio or anything else that you have. But just because you're prepped doesn't mean you have to dig a hole and bury yourself in it and be the Lone Ranger. I'll let it reset. And N6EMS for ID, and the second is kind of not really a second topic, but right along with that is one of community. We certainly are stronger together, and that's basically why society has kind of advanced. Is you kind of get together and. Things that Bob 1 is better at, he does, and things that Bob 2 is better at, he does, and we kind of strengthen each other and the whole group that way. And so, no matter what the disaster, emergency, condition, whatever it is that you're being prepared for, don't forget to look out for your community, whoever's in your community, whether that's your neighbors or family or friends or anyway, whoever makes your group stronger and better. And I'll leave it at that.
Good comments. Like Bob said this morning, I was doing the radio stuff for a run that we have here in the Twin Falls area, and it was good to work with other people. It's good to coordinate and coordinate with other groups that aren't even radio related. It just kind of, you start working at a different level. I thought that was really good. We get practice on running multiple frequencies together, because we had our own net control. And then like I was working with the guy immediately at the checkpoint above me. So we're talking on simplex, and then we've got the repeater channel that we're both working off of, and then I'm coordinating with race officials at the finish line. We've got people staged all over the place, and everybody's working with other groups. Some people are working with paramedics, some with law enforcement, some with other race officials. So we kind of we build that part of a community, and then together we all work on the whole community aspect, and that's really where our strengths lie, is not being the island, not hermiting yourself away and sitting on your radio, not interacting with anybody, or you storing up your food, storing up your acorns, and not being part of the community. And this is K6GDA for the Southern Idaho Preparedness Net. Let's see. Miko Wolf. Miko Wolf says, learning your gear, electrical, second nature. I thought I did that with a ham radio test. A lot of FCC rules. Yeah. Having your gear together and tested, and knowing your capabilities, knowing what the rules are when there are rules, all that is a very, very good topic to get into. Miko Wolf, if you're still out there, if you want to expound on that, if you've got anything, I'll go ahead and read it. Until then, Bob, did you have anything else on your topic or your comments?
I think we pretty much summed them up. The practice side, it can be like you were doing with the Aries group on the radio, or pretty much any other skill set that you can use. So whether that's taking the boys group camping, okay, do that, practice, get proficient at things like that. Be involved in the radio world, use those skills, practice. But whatever you do, get skills, refine them, and keep in the back of your mind that very few of us are going to be the lone wolf, Rambo beating our way through the woods type thing. And I do have a question for the net, different topic.
Well, go ahead with it.
And kind of the Nico Wolf comments, guys, kind of brought this to my attention is, so SHTF happens, and everybody who's bought a radio and stuffed it in a backpack is going to be on the air. And one of the reasons that I say practice is it's going to become immediately obvious who operates and who doesn't, who knows the rules and such. But if we're in SHTF, what is your thought about how the rules are going to apply. I'll just leave it there and let your mind go. N6EMS.
Anybody else on the radio side have a comment, an answer, expand on that?
KD8IOK. Sorry, Bob, my hotspot's going in and out, so I'm losing signal, so I didn't hear you call me earlier. But my first answer is communications. That's the big thing that I think we need to focus on, or that I want to focus on. I'm currently doing an AMCON overwatch on this trip all the way from Yuma to Michigan. We're doing some different testing using the Zello channel created specifically for this trip. I'm also running an APRS beacon so they can track my every move, calling in different waypoint stops, en routes, finishing for the day, things like that. Also, wife and I are driving two separate vehicles, so we're running simplex between the two vehicles, testing spacing, distances, seeing how far we can get before we lose signal, and how degraded it gets under certain distances. So, and hopefully when we run the trip back down in the fall, we'll actually do some HF work, if I can get an HF radio installed here. And then as far as the rules,
dude, you're
I would
rocking
have
it.
to say that, in my opinion, I've always said that what we think is valid may not be valid in the FCC's eyes. However, I recently had a change of mind in that, and I feel that what I consider as an emergency to my life or death is an emergency, and I could use whatever comms method necessary to get my message out and or to call for help for myself or others. And in an SHTF situation, I actually kind of question if rules are even going to be valid, short of them martial law and restricting radio communications. I kind of feel like rules are going to get flushed down the toilet in that circumstance. Over.
Yeah, Jeff, thanks for the comments. Those are really, really valid, and good job with all the communications practice you're doing while you're on the road there. I've got a couple of comments here on the internet side. First of all, welcome to Dennis KC0SUL and Andy Cowley. Welcome to the net, guys. Miko Wolf said he's played around with the radio since he was 20. CB, GMRS, had a ham license. And let's see. Andy Pearson says, what thoughts do you have on Ham Shack Online and similar? I'm not familiar with Ham Shack Online, so I'll have to look that up. Let's see. Miko, again, he says he's 60, and 60 years old. And right now, he's trying to get a general, but it isn't working out too well to make FCC's overreach. And he'd like to get on the radio with normal people without the BS. He doesn't even turn on the CB anymore. All valid points. Miko, I just say just keep working on the license if you want to get on. Let's see. The Hammer, AC9EX, Todd in Kentucky. He's RV Mobile. my sit rep. He reminded me of my sit rep. How about MFJ going out of business? I did a short video on that yesterday. And that, I think, is going to, we will see in the next couple of years, that is going to profoundly affect ham radio. And possibly GMRS, other types of radio, but it is definitely going to affect us in the ham radio world. I'm sitting here right now looking at 4 or 5 different pieces of equipment I've got just in here, just in Studio A, that are MFJ products. Those are going to go away. They're going to become scarce. They'll go away. There's a lot of little things that that MFJ has provided over the years. The little translators for Morse code. That's a big one. Those will go away. Now, I know that there's some iPhone programs for that kind of stuff, but man, so many things, so many little dongles and doohickeys that they have provided over the years. We will miss them. I'm going to let it drop. And this is K6UDA for the Southern Idaho Preparedness Net. Let's see if there's any other check-ins on the radio. Check-ins for the Southern Idaho Preparedness Net. Okay, doesn't look like we have any more check-ins on that side. Yeah, back to EMS's question. I tend to agree with Jeff. I don't see the rules and the regulations of the FCC mattering much. I don't even care if they declare martial law and say no more ham radio. What that's going to affect is the straight ham radio guys who don't or won't use ham radio because all they do it for is rag chewing, their CW contests. Those of us who have another reason for using ham radio, and the people that don't care, just don't care, they're not going to stop. They're not going to give up ham radio. They're not going to give up the radios, just like they're not going to give up their guns. It's just a fact of life, and I think it's going to get. It'll get ugly on the air for a little while. You're going to have a ton of people just, hello, can you hear me? I'm trying to get a hold of my dad or whatever. It is, I think it's going to be survival of the fittest on the radio in an SHTF situation. Let's see. Callie has a really interesting comment here. He says that the Nokia CEO did a video on 6G. Your phone tech will be in your body by 2030. Nokia patent holder for RFID running on Lucent Technologies and Inferno operating systems. They won't be in my body. I'll almost guarantee you that. I won't have a phone implanted in my head or anywhere else on my body. I'll leave it in my hand.
Comment or question?
Bob, too. Go ahead.
Yeah, that I think you bounced off of kind of the heart of what I was thinking was, okay, you know, how as a group of people who have used ham radio for a while, studied, got a license, followed the rules, developed proficiency, and operate in a normal and customary fashion, how are the group of us that are in that camp going to handle the folks that jump on and go, hello, I need to get a hold of my dad type thing, and and I appreciate Jeff's comment about user-defined emergency, and that has validity as well. But good topic for discussion. You can bounce that around and field some thoughts.
Yeah, definitely. Now, my answer to that would be kind of two-part. First of all, my tactical answer to that is I don't want those people who are jumping on the radio saying, hello, I need to get a hold of my dad. I don't want them to know where I am, who I am, my capabilities, my anything. I don't want them to know that I'm even there unless I know them, unless they're part of my world and my community. They are a threat. And to me, them getting on the radio when something happens is akin to scam callers that we get on cell phones right now. Unless and until they prove themselves not a threat, to me, they are a threat. Now, the other question is somebody gets on the air and they're calling for help. I think everybody is going to be calling for help. So it kind of depends upon if you think that this is a legitimate call for help or if it's being used to bait you in. It's gonna come down to that whole situational awareness thing, to me. And that's how I personally am planning on dealing with something like that when it happens. And I don't say if. I'm pretty sure it's going to be a win. Anybody else have any thoughts on that?
KD8I, okay.
Jeff, go ahead.
I agree with your statement completely and just want to follow it with, and that's why we need to practice. This net is an example. We're getting to know each other on this net. Maybe not the inner sanctum know each other yet, but we're getting to know each other. Practicing these types of things with your local community, that circle of people that you trust, building comms plans, and what you do in a situation if you do have a foreign body on the radio that is not part of your local group. How do you react to it? Do you switch channels? Do you have known frequencies that you go to? Do you use brevity codes? What frequencies do you use? It's a whole big testing thing, which is one of the things that we're working out and testing on this trip, and hope to do much more testing in the future. But I think that's about the only way we're going to be able to combat it, is the ones that do this daily, that practice this, that test this, that try to find different ways to communicate in an emergency, need to keep doing that. And not that we wouldn't try to reach out and help somebody, but again, you don't know if they're baiting either. We got to figure out how to shield ourselves from the baiting calls and know which ones are legit calls, and have a legit line of communication for the ones that we know, that we love, that we care about, that are part of our circle. And I think that's why we just need to test and practice every day.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. Callie brings up a couple of good points. He says, I am not a ham radio person. You can't do everything, and that is not something that he is interested in. And he goes on to say that, however, I fed 6 families with the garden primarily from seed last year. That is my corner of the world, and he has other skills, but not radios. And that is the perfect example of a community. And I want to tell Callie, and I want to tell the other people that are on the YouTube side right now, that is your skill set doesn't need to be ham radio. It doesn't need to be radio at all. Just like my skill set is not medical, my skill sets are security and law enforcement side and radio. I am the 18 Echo of my group. Primarily there's a whole bunch of 18 Echo, which are radio specialties that are on this net. And it's because it is a net that we have a gathering of more communication types. But it's not to say that that's all we are. And it's not to say that to be in our group, our larger group here, that you have to be a radio person. This is about community and preparedness, not necessarily radio. The radio here is the tool. And just like with firearms or security or medical or gardening, you have to practice it or you lose it. These are all perishable skills. Okay, let's see. Build community with subject matter experts from Randy. And Kelly, I guess, is a girl. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Kelly. Let's see. Do we have anything else? Any other questions, comments, topics that anybody wants to bring up? Okay, Andy Pearson says here there's storms rolling in here in northeast Kansas. He's grabbing his ref whistle and his HT. Thoughts and prayers out to you, my friend. Hope you guys don't get hit with anything, but I guess it's a little bit ugly out there. Prepham Paul says, unfortunately, being in the suburbs, he is surrounded by like-minded or prepared people. Still looking for some land a bit out of the city areas. And that's, the other thing is, where are you located? Who do you have access to? Who's there to help you? And who are you there to help? Dennis says he has been getting heavy wet snow all day, pushing it off tree branches. He's got down on power lines. His power is going out. Again, to everybody that's having the bad weather, thoughts and prayers out to you. Let's see. Anybody else on the radio side? I know we've got KV5OP, the PDN is up, and KC5 OUR Gateway, I believe out of Texas. Anybody out of those two areas want to jump in?
Kilo India 5, Mike Foxtrot. I'm using the KC5 OUR repeater to get into your net. So nothing to add, but the KI5 MFF.
All right, KI5 MFF. Do you have a favorite topic or a favorite comment or anything for the net? Maybe something we could get into on another net.
Well, I do have a comment, I guess. If you're worried about people clogging up the airwaves, if things go south, I wouldn't worry about it much. A lot of people out there bought UV5Rs, some other stuff, but they have no clue where to tune the dial to. So don't really think that's going to be an issue. There'll be whatever frequency pops up when they start up the radio, and they'll probably hang out there officially until they figure out how to scan, I guess. But I don't think that's going to be too big of an issue, at least not in the first few days or a few weeks.
Yeah, that might be good advice. Something that my community here has done. We are developing and have developed TAC channels. So if something big happens here in the Magic Valley of Idaho, we have predetermined frequencies that everybody's got pretty much plugged into their radios that we could go to. The people that have their blue flangs that don't know how to put them in a VFO mode, don't know how to scan, or don't have a workable frequency list, they won't be able to find those frequencies very easily. That'll cut down on some of it. But again, it's kind of know your community. And that starts now while times are good, is getting that community together locally. Let's see. Anything else? Anybody else got anything for the net? All right. Well, I guess for kind of half unscheduled late net that wasn't on the books, we did pretty good. We've got 9 nodes on board for today. We've got 34 people on the live stream checking it out, and I'm gonna say I'll call it a success. And I am going to go ahead and close out the net to everybody on the air. 73-13 Thank you. Stay safe, stay armed, and stay on the radio. This is Bob, K6UDA, for the Southern Idaho Preparedness Net, returning all the repeaters and nodes back to their normal operation. And we'll see you all next Saturday, 9 a.m. All right, guys. Now that we're done off the radio, we can hang out for a few minutes here. And let's see. There was some interesting comments. What was the original name for Comcast? Let's see. I don't remember what it was. I just remember Comcast came up. I couldn't get them when I was in California. I did not live in an area that had Comcast for cable. I had Dish Network, and I quit them right before I moved. Never went back. Let's see. Tim Roman, take care, be safe. Miko Wolf's got a new radio coming. Miko, what kind of radio do you have coming? Yeah, from northern Idaho. Used to being able to plant a garden. Oh, yeah. From Prep Ham Paul. He used to be in northern Idaho, and now he's in Texas. And I guess Texas and crops don't do exactly well. I don't know. Infinity, or was Callie, is that Infinity or Xfinity? I thought it was Xfinity, and that's Comcast. Huh. I thought maybe Comcast came before Xfinity. But hey, what do I know? I'm not a cable guy. I've never had cable TV. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Let's see. Not much else. Anybody have any good topics that you would like covered for any kind of prepping? Lordy. It could be anything from gardening, and that's one of the big things here. We have a very short season here, comparatively speaking, from California. But my wife did get a great harvest last year. And one of the things that I am working on right now is a little hoop house. So trying to get something like that. I'm thinking of maybe doing one of those little cattle panel hoop houses, but a fairly short one, pretty much for starting things early in the spring, starting some tomatoes or something in, say, March or early April, where right now my wife has not even put anything in the ground yet, because we could still get a snow up until the first part of May. Things are just starting to go into the ground now. Everybody's just starting to plant out here. And I know when we were in California, everybody started planting in March. So that's what we were used to when we got here. Was you started planting in March, early April, and you had vegetables and fruits coming up all summer long. Here, not so much. We've already lost a couple of plants this spring. Prep Ham Paul says, one thing here in Texas, some things will grow year round, but dealing with bugs. Yeah. Well, we don't have the amount of bugs, I guess. But man, when we get them good. The nicest neighbors are capable of, yes, Hammer. That is absolutely 100% true. And that's why building that community now is so important, because you're going to really find out as you get to know your neighbors, you're going to find out who you want on your team and who you don't want on your team. And really, if your neighbors are on your team and they're there for the team in good times, in bad times, everybody's going to work to feed their kids and help feed them, and they're going to work to help feed you and your kids. So it's a two-way street. Let's see. Miko Wolf is buying the RT 590. I'm not exactly sure which one that is. Is that a ham radio? Or is that a Retivus? Or I'm not exactly sure which one that is. I'll have to look it up. Dennis says he's going to try to burn the snow off his HF antenna. Nice. Very cool. We used to just let our chickens run through the gardens. Yeah. We let our chickens out during the summer. Right now, we got a bad situation. We picked up 4 more chickens this year. The old flock is turning on the new flock, so we had to separate them. And when we let them run loose, they just make a mess. They terrorize everything. It's kind of insane. But yeah, we're getting at the point here where it's time to start opening the gates and let them all out. Callie has 4 16-foot cattle panels to put up. Her tomatoes were started in January. Callie, where are you located? Are you in California, or where are you? Reception bad. You might be able to get through. Let's see. 1 trillion fruit tree initiative at the UN. Holy crap. Okay. Yeah, and Dennis there says that he has seen snow in Colorado, in the Rockies on July 4th. We actually saw snow a couple of times, around July 4th in Northern California. So it's not unheard of. It happens, and I'm sure Northern Idaho has seen its share of snow late in the season. As a matter of fact, I think there's still a lot of snow on the ground up north. It just is. Let's see. Covers all ham bands. 9 bands. You could transmit on 5 bands. I'll have to take a look at that one, my friend, and see what it is. Big John's Ham Shack. YouTube did me wrong. He was never notified. And we're at the end of the deal, my friend. You'll have to watch it on playback. And you'll have to be here on Saturday morning next week. Hopefully, if you guys get up. Let's see. Callie is in Northern California. My old stomping grounds. Chickens are her nemesis. Planting seeds is game for them. Yeah, that's why my wife plants in planter boxes, and we don't let the chickens all over the place. They've kind of got their own area. Man, we're coming up on the hour, and I don't see anybody else coming in. You know what? Let me check and see if there's anybody on. Not seeing it come through YSF, but I am connected. Okay. So KB7 DFP, he did have it connected, but it wasn't coming through YSF for some reason. Don't know why. And what was I going to do? I just wanted to see if anybody was on Discord. Not that we'll really do Discord this time. After chat, I'll join it on my phone. Yeah, I'm the only one in there, so I'm not going to worry about that. And I'm going to hang up the voice chat on Discord. And next week we will go back to doing Discord after the net. If you guys haven't done the Discord, I'm just putting it up there. You can copy that down. I'll probably have a new one for next week. Let's see. Callie's north, very north. Where is that? Right up by the Oregon border north, or Redding north. Let's see. My Outdoor Life. Welcome, by the way. Most of my neighbors are clueless about being prepared. That is the neighbor that you need to be afraid of. Is not so much the people that have an idea but maybe can't afford a lot of stuff. If people are willing to help out with a garden, with a neighborhood garden or whatever, if they're willing to work and help the community, that's one thing. It's the people that, go, that ain't never going to happen. That's your problem. Those people, when it happens, are going to have their sense of entitlement. Well, I should have food. There should absolutely be food for me and my family. And you know what? If I didn't prepare, I'll take it from you because you owe it to me. I don't know how they arrive at that, but that seems to be the attitude of people that don't believe anything bad will ever happen to them. You try to talk to them and they just get a blank look. Okay, KD6 EVJ, and he's in Utah. So another Six Land refugee like me. good to have you. Good to have you on the net there. Miko Wolf in Central New York, and it's about to rain. Songs about normal. We got a lot of them around. Yeah, there seems to be a lot of them in a lot of places. Here, I've just got to brag about where I live right now. It's so nice. And then I'm going to go ahead and close this out. We moved here, and when we moved from California, it was like, we had our little preps in California, and we moved, and it was something you didn't talk about. You just kind of kept that quiet, and people kind of looked at you a little bit funny if they thought you were a prepper or heard you were a prepper or whatever. Here, everybody is a prepper, and they're not preppers. It's just normal life. People put food up to feed themselves through the winter. People protect themselves. People are self-reliant here. It is so refreshing. And building the community and putting the skill sets together, so much easier when you can just talk to people and they don't look at you like you've got a third eye. It just is. Everybody's kind of on that same page. Just very, very refreshing. It makes you feel good. And you slowly kind of forget how it is in other parts of the country. Yeah, Prepam Paul. I hear you, brother. I think if I lived somewhere else, I would greatly miss what I've got now, what I've grown accustomed to. So Comcast, so Life and Death says, Comcast is rebranding itself as Xfinity, owned by NBC Universal. Of course. But of course, NBC Universal. Let's see. Blah, blah, blah. All right. Guys, we're past 1600 now. So I'm going to get back to doing other stuff outside of Studio A here. It has been great. Thank you all for joining me at a different time and not giving up on this thing because we kind of haven't done it right for the past 2 weeks again. I kind of got to have a life too. I'm doing other things, and sometimes that's going to conflict with a Saturday morning, but I will try to be here as often, as many Saturday mornings as I can. Anyway, my friends, I'm going to go ahead and close this one out. Thank you all for being here. It's been real. Stay frosty, stay armed, stay prepared, and build your community. Anyway, I'm Bob, K6UDA. I will say 7-3, and we'll catch you next week.